Thank you, seagull. Ah, fucking bastards. Someone set off fireworks? Or is it a gun? In my white neighborhood. Anyways, if you're wondering whether there's seagulls, there's a lake like right over there. There's seagulls everywhere. And there's a storm coming in, so they're all leaving the water. Which means that the storm is coming, which sucks. Anyways. Okay, leave me the fuck alone. They're like swarming my house now. Like, there he is. What's that about? Oh, either talking to Destiny or Brittany. The point is that I feel like they talk about a lot of stuff and have success in dating. So I'll say my initial thought, and then I'll talk about the rest. My initial thought is that they just live in bigger cities. Oh, that's thunder. Interesting.
What? I just did. Love you. Ha! God, motherfucker. Oh my god, is this my parking?
No. Is it dog water?
I'm like, yeah, it's terrible. I'm on like grass.
Bro, your dog.
There was a car that like pulled up and like was just waiting there, so I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, there's
Pulling
another
really
car.
fast.
Yeah, I always hate that. My worst is that I'll drive down the street and I'm like, say someone's behind me and I'll turn on my signal too, and they're still like on my ass as I'm pulling into my driveway. I'm like, what are you fucking doing?
I just like slowed down, like we're just like idling in the middle. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Because usually what I do to get like better is I'll kind of swerve out and swerve in.
Yeah.
But if someone's like tailing my ass, I can't do that.
I know. Drivers, I think yesterday were fucking stupid on the road. Any single one. There was either riding my ass or going super fast and then just braking on the highway.
Yeah, when I had to drive to Ajax, I almost saw like 3 accidents.
Yeah, Aiden said that
Like-
going his game was stupid.
Yeah, well, the carpool lane
Yeah.
on any highway, I think, but the one to Toronto is a literal fucking shit show.
Yeah.
Nobody in the carpool lane is carpooling.
No.
People will merge onto it in the middle of nowhere. Like the big stripes, you're not supposed to merge, right?
Yeah,
It's
you
like a
just go.
huge block and it's cross hashed or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to merge in there. They just merge all the way over.
You were stupid.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
I hate them all.
Yeah,
Hate
people
them
I know.
all.
All right, bye.
Good night. Oh, Dad knows his garage is up.
I might close it when I walk inside, but
Yeah.
anyways, that was my sister. How bad is her? I can't see. I'm not. Oh man, it's not horrible. She's on the grass. No big deal. Hurry up and leave, dumbass. Might as well clip that. Clip it. Clip it. Clip it. Anyways, what I was gonna say is that, like, I think they live in bigger cities, or they're older. But a lot of what they talk about, I think about like, oh, that's how I date, quote unquote, or attempt to date, but none of it is effective ever. So now, again, other reason. I'll give all my reasons first, and then I'll explain everything, because I think it's easier than me explaining everything, and then people like this, and then I'm like, okay, by the way, I think my reasoning is for me striking out or not having as much success as I think I should get, is I don't really care. I don't really like talking to humans. Most people are dumb as fuck, so I don't want to give, or I don't feel the need to like try to hyper focus on somebody or hyper focus for somebody's attention. So like if you're not responding to me on like the first or second message, if it's like dry, it's gone. So if you don't reply to me, it's done. Basically, if you're not messaging me, like if I leave the conversation for like a week, if you ghost me or whatever, or you don't reply to me, and it stays that way for like a week, I'm not gonna message you. It's just gonna stay blank. There's a small chance, maybe every once in a while, I run through. Like at this point, it's like every month, maybe I might like message some people that didn't message me back, because sometimes people make mistakes and they just forget to message back. Because I have like actual friends that do that, and they're like actual friends with me, and then, so sometimes people, and like with Tinder stuff, like I don't really blame you. So every once in a while, if we've had like at least some conversations or whatever, I might reach out, or if you're hot enough, I might like reach out everyone. But the typical rule is like, okay, you're not messaging me, fuck you. There's that. But again, that's the thing that Brittany and Destiny say. They both say they do that, and they still have success. B, and I think the biggest thing, I don't have that. Okay, sorry. B.1 and B.2. I don't really have that good of photos on Tinder or any of my dating apps. I think they're not like they're all like normal like my self-made selfies. I don't go out and get photos, so I should up that game up. But I haven't had any drive to do it. That's B.2 whatever. Is I don't really give a fuck. In the sense that like I don't really care about talking to people that much. I'm not a big like small talker. I'd rather just, and then we'll get into this a little bit. I'd rather just speed stuff. Like, okay, what are you interested in? I don't want kids. Like, right, like we'll just like speed race a couple things, hang out as quickly as we can, and then just kind of go with the flow there. And you know, basically like I'm not gonna do anything that I don't want to do for you. My biggest hurdle still is like I'll randomly stay up to like I'll stay up till like 2 in the morning talking to some people. It's a total waste of my fucking time. But yeah, I'm not gonna overtly do stuff that I don't want to do and blah 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 blah. So there's a couple like pitfalls that are probably my fault, and I'm not like I think I'm aware of them. But in terms of like what Destiny say and Brittany said they had success with, I think my voice is about to get drowned out by this wind. But it's a nice breeze. Anyways, so the stuff that they said that they say they have success with, or they use whatever, and still have success, is like mind-boggling. So, what have they said? So they said they do stuff like speed dating, essentially. They do like speed running checklists. So they'll ask like, do you want kids? Do you want this? Blah 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 blah. Like that. If I can do that to anyone, it's like a godsend. Like I feel like if I ask like 3 questions, someone's like weirded out and ghosting me, or they just the conversation gets like super weird and it's like okay, we're not compatible. So like for example, how can I go about this? If I were to categorize my typical match ratio, people with kids, ugly people, so they don't even get a conversation, and then I don't know if I want to go down this path, but and then other people that are weirdly in a I only want a relationship mode, and I'll kind of explain that further. The first category that's worth talking about, unattractive people, we're not going to talk about because I don't talk to them. The other category is I give parents a chance, because it's like if it's something casual or we're just friends or whatever, like that's fine. I don't know if I have no experience with like dating someone who has a kid, so I have no idea how that would go. So I'm not opposed to it. So I'm fine with like talking and seeing how things go, and if we click, then we go to a couple dates and I see how it goes, and I go, hey, okay, and then after that, I would find out like, okay, turns out I can't date somebody who has a kid. I just can't do it because of these priorities that you want me to have. I don't have those priorities, but I've never experienced that, so I don't know. So I'm open to. So I talk to people who have kids, even though in my brain I don't want a kid and whatever. Like the kid shouldn't be my responsibility. I don't know if that's like the expectation. It does seem like in some conversations that is the expectation, that I would literally just like 2 weeks into dating this person would become the father of, like I was like, holy fuck. But that's a somewhat rare, like overshare by people, I think. Anyways, but so women with kids, and they're kind of in the same category. Women with kids are a little bit more aggressive with it, I think. What's the main characteristic of women with kids? I think they're both in the same tree. Anyways, basically any women I meet on Tinder or match on any dating app are like, I'm not going to do anything with you until we're in a committed relationship. Nothing. No sex, no like kissing or anything until we're dating. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, how do you know people? Like, what? Like, I had this was an issue I wasn't aware of, because at least the last person I was in we were like relatively sexually active, but we got sexually active early, so I didn't really notice it. But like this is the thing with my like past relationship, is like like, basically what she said to me, she's like, oh, I was dating you, but I was hoping I would basically like you more in a simplified way, and I just never did. And I was like, why the fuck did you even start dating me in the first place then? Like, why were we dating? Why weren't we just talking, maybe fucking, hanging out and stuff like that? Why would we, like, official boyfriend-girlfriend thing if you weren't even sure about it? Like, just, like, make things less complicated. But no, like, every single person I'm talking to is, like, hard struck on, nope, we're not doing anything until we're, like, officially dating. And by officially dating, I mean, like, and it's weird too, because it's like, by officially dating, I mean, like, 3 dates in, like, take me out to dinner twice, we're dating now. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, your name is my bio, everything. We're taking photos together. It's like holy shit, dude. Like, you seem fucking insane. Like, that's not dating. Like, I don't know what the fuck you think. Or, like, the way I would get explained it is like, oh, the last guy I hooked up with, ghosted me right after or whatever. And I was like, so I don't do hookups anymore. Or, like, the last dude, yeah, whatever, name something. I tried hooking up with people and they just ghost me and leave me alone or blah, 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 blah. Just typical rejection stuff. It's like, okay, A, just learn how to deal with rejection. B, what's stopping some guy from dating you and then just dumping you the moment you guys have sex? Well, like, if I just keep going, can I do that? And it's fine? Or would I just permanently you would just go comatose? Because I totally broke you because of that. Like, what the fuck? What's stopping somebody from doing that? Because if it's so easy to start dating you, right? Just take you to dinner a couple times, now we're dating. Then why do you have this weird, like, humongous barrier that you talked about? Because it's not real. Or you just don't like sex. Like, that's the only kind of two conclusions I can come to. I obviously understand that women have a more, like, trusting of, like, thing with sex, like, oh, they would have sex that they trust with, but at the same time, it seems like you don't want to have any kind of conversation with me. It's, take me out to dinner, buy me flowers, we're dating now. It's like, I don't know you. I don't know who the fuck you are. We're not dating. We went out to food twice. I bought you food. We didn't say anything. We haven't talked about anything. Fuck, I don't even know your fucking middle name or your last name. Like, what? We're not doing anything. And I don't know if I should label that as a hookup. Not even, okay, that's assuming I've even gone that far. Usually I just dip because I'm like, who the fuck is this crazy person? If, like, somebody's explained that I won't fuck anyone until I'm dating, and then that's, like, their idea of dating, or, like, they're not talkative at all. So, I'll give you an example of, like, what I'm running into. So I'll match with somebody, they'll say that, I'll ask, like, what are you looking for, blah, 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 and they're like, I don't want to do hookups, I only want a long-term relationship, I'm only going to give, like, I'll only have sex with you for a long-term relationship, or whatever, something close to that. And then I'm like, okay, cool, fine, okay. Cool. Okay, let's start getting to know each other. And I start asking questions, and it's just dry answers of nothing. And either this person's just super uninteresting, in which is, okay, fine, move on, or B, you're not actually serious about what you said. You don't, like, I'm just not attractive enough for you, I guess. And so you're, like, testing the waters to see if I would say something magical to open your brain and be like, oh, he's perfect. Which is just isn't going to happen, obviously. Not to be too hard on myself, but, I'd say I'm pretty good at flirting, but we're not all there. Anyways. So, yeah, it's just very strange. It's really, now again, the other thing with, like, Destiny and Brittany stuff is that they have access to meet people really easily, right? Destiny can just like, message almost anyone on Twitter and has an excuse to go hang out with them. Oh, hey, I'm a big streamer. Not that he's flexing it, but I'm just saying, like, hey, me and you are streamers, let's get together and make content, or whatever, like, oh, let's do this, I have a project I want to work on, you're in the area, do you want to go out, get food, like, we can work on this. He has a very easy avenue to meet people. Brittany, same thing, right? Oh, hey, I would like to have a conversation about this stuff. or blah 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 blah, or she just goes out and does IRL stuff because she says she does IRL stuff, and that's where like my other backdrop is I don't do a lot of IRL stuff, which admittedly, of course, is like an issue, and that's like where my other like I don't really care about this stuff that much. But even in any of the endeavors of IRL stuff, which I will admit is limited, I guess. It's just like super not detached from anything they say. So, fuck, I don't think I have many recent... actually I do have a recent example. This is a super recent example. Okay, so this is... a lot of what I'm going to talk about is not specifically dating stuff, it's just people are dumb stuff. So, I play... My main social stuff is that I play rugby, and I go to the gym, although I haven't been able to go to the gym that often because rugby basically injures me after every practice, and I don't have the... Like, my knees hurt too much to go to the gym, essentially. So, once rugby's over, I'll go back to the gym more. But, anyways, at this point, it's basically just rugby is my main social IRL shit. And we were at a game, and we were trying to take out this tent, and the tent was being a stupid bitch, okay? The lock... How can I describe this? Okay, so this is like this is like the shaft that's holding up the tent, whatever. And then there's this thing on here, and like somewhere on here there's a flip switch, and the flip switch is supposed to go all the way up here and lock the tent into place. It's supposed to hit a pin, and then this will be in the exact spot so that you can flip the switch, and then the top of the tent will break down. But those same, like, you know, the pins that I'm talking about, it'll be like a little ball bearing, a little ball bearing, or a I don't know, like a piece of metal or whatever, will shoot out from the metal thing as like a spring, has a spring on it. So those spring-loaded little pins will pop out, and there's one up here, and it lines up perfectly with this handle. But there are a million more down the thing because of the height adjustment. So to adjust the height of the thing has a bunch of other pins, but those pins don't line up with this handle. So what happened is that it slid down. I accidentally missed a pin, so there's a pin up here. Everyone brought down their tent already, so this became tight because it's like pushing up against the side. Oh, it's raining now, or it's going to start raining. I can hear it. And then what happened is that the pin that was here got stuck underneath this thing, but the flipper wasn't in the correct spot. It was like down here, or it was like up here, and the flipper's like down in the bottom. So I couldn't flip it and disengage it, but I couldn't press it, obviously, because this is in the fucking way. So I had to like fucking shove it and do some shit. Anyways, the joke I made is that everyone's like yelling at me like, "Oh man, you can't figure it out, you can't figure it out," and the pin is like it's a pin. So the joke was, "Sorry guys, I can't find the clip." And then all of them were like, "Oh my god, that's so embarrassing." I was like, "Did you think I'm fucking serious? Like, what the fuck? What? Like, it's a fucking joke. Did you not understand that?" Like, they all laughed as if I like was being honest about my sex life in the middle of a fucking sports field playing rugby while fiddling with a fucking tent. And I was like, "What the fuck?" So I don't know if they took it seriously or not, if they understood it was a joke. But the way they, like, laughed about it or whatever was like they took it seriously. And I was like, "Are you fucking, like..." And then it's like, in my brain automatically, I'm like, okay, I'm not, like, all of you are idiots. Like, I can't, automatically now, I can't date any of you if any of them were single anyways. I don't know if any of them are single or not. In my brain, I'm automatically like, you guys are fucking stupid as fuck. I don't want to have any more of a conversation with you guys. So, my point is that any social interactions I've had are like fucking dog shit. Like, people are just so stupid. So that's one example of that happening. Now, okay, again, clarification. Obviously, I'm not like fully turned off. Like, I literally think they're fucking idiots, and I'll never speak to them. Obviously, if they talk to me and stuff like that, but like, I'm not gonna be like simping, like trying to have a conversation with these people because they're based on that. Like, I'm not like they've been like knocked down a tier. Problem B is no one approaches me to talk to me. I think it's because I would say I look relatively intimidating. I do have resting bitch face, to my knowledge. Like, people are always like, "Oh man, why don't you ever smile over blah blah blah." They always say resting bitch face stuff. So I think I have resting bitch face. I don't give a fuck. So like, I understand if I'm not approachable. So no one really approaches me. Anyone I have approached is fucking, it gives me brain cancer. And then Any other interaction that people talk about them doing seems fucking impossible to me. So, what's like the best example? Oh, people will say like, oh, you can meet people with work, through friends, or whatever. It's like, okay, none of my friends have any women friends. Any women friends I have are, oh, this is the other thing I need to explain. Okay, yeah. This is the other thing. The women I am capable of talking to. So it seems like there are categories of women that I know that are capable of that will actually converse with me and aren't really awkward about it. So this was a work. So I'll explain the example and then I'll get to this. So people say like, oh, you can meet people at work, you can meet people through friends, or you can meet people through hobbies. Is like the three pillars of like how to meet people. Work, at least for me, I worked at a place for 8 months, heavily male dominated to be fair, but at that work experience, the only thing I learned from that is that women who are single won't talk to you, or don't seem to want to talk to you. Maybe I have autism brain, and I can't tell if they are being kind or not or whatever. But there's a definite different tone with them. Women who are out of your age bracket, quote unquote, so like at the work, it was like people like that were in their 40s or whatever. Like these are grown women. They would talk to me, and be very friendly, like super friendly. Say hello to me in like walking by and stuff like that. Super friendly conversations, super open conversations, awesome. Like great friendly people, great conversations. And then the third group is people who are in a relationship. They're also super open. They could be the exact same age as me, same dating pool, everything like that. They're in a relationship. They're super open to talking to you, super like nice, super everything. We'll say hi to you, blah blah blah. And it's like okay. So the only people that'll talk to me is people who are in relationships or out of my age range. Okay, so there's like work out of the picture apparently. It's also kind of awkward. I'm like not going to work to hit on people. That's not my goal. I don't actively hit on people at work. It just seemed like anyone who was in a relationship just like didn't want to talk to you in a casual sense at all. Or sorry, anyone who was single didn't want to talk to me in a casual sense at all. And then the only people who would talk to me or be friendly were people who were out of my dating range, or were in a relationship already. So it's like, okay, okay. Option B, through friends. Well, none of my friends have female friends, and any of my female friends are in a relationship and don't, as far as I'm concerned, have not introduced me to any friends of theirs. And it's funny, it's because I do have an example of this. My buddy, well, he's been on stream. My buddy Cole met his girlfriend because of another work friend. So I'm like, I know it's possible, because he knew a girl at work, and she introduced him to Brittany, and then they like hit it off. I was like, okay, so it's fucking possible. But like, I'm perennially unlucky. Apparently, I'm unlucky in fucking video games. I will be the first one to get head tapped and everything like that. Blah blah blah. So I'm just fucking unlucky apparently. But ignoring unlucky, because that makes conversation boring. It's like, okay, so it is possible that like I can meet things to friends, but none of my friends have female friends. None of my friends have female friends, and none of my female friends have ever introduced me to anyone, like ever. So it's like, okay, so that's like off the books as well, because I'm not as social as maybe other people are. And then it's like, okay, third thing, hobbies. Well, I gave you the example of the rugby thing, and it's like, oh god, like everyone around me is either fucking stupid as fuck, or my other like downfalls are like too heavy or whatever. Because I'm like somewhat willing but not willing. I'm not so like desperate for a relationship or desperate for sex or anything like that to be like, okay, you're an idiot, we don't really talk about anything, but I'll take you on a date so that we have sex or be in a relationship. Like I'm like, I can't do that. I physically can't do that. If you say something dumb, like I am like sexually unattracted to you now. Like it's just not gonna work. Like it's just, if you're like saying some dumb shit, I just can't. Or if we can't have like a conversation, it's just like, it's like it just feel like I'm not gonna fuck a stranger. Basically, is like a simplified version of it. Cause yeah, like yeah. I don't know if I have too big of an ego for myself or whatever, or I don't know what it is, but if I think you're a quote dumbass, it's over. Like I just can't talk to you anymore. unless of course you're doing some miraculous stuff, like you start talking to me and are friendly to me, like I can get over. So like my conservative buddy that I was talking about before, he's a dumb fuck, but he's open to conversation. We have interesting conversations. He doesn't get like weird about it or anything. So that's like cool. What I mean by someone being a dumb fuck is not like they're like literally dumb, but like I said with the joke thing, I said like, "Oh guys, I can't find the clit," and then they all like acted serious or whatever. It's like it's a joke. It's kind of obviously a joke. If you can't see it's a joke, like that's weird. So there's like stuff like that, or oh, this is something else I experience all the time, but I don't have any idea how to describe it. How can I? I think the easiest way to describe it's basically you've all experienced this. The moment I say this, you'll know it. My 0 viewers, by the way. The moment I say this, you'll all know this. It's like you ever talk to a person, and it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like they're talking to you, or you're talking to them. Like you're saying a bunch of stuff, and then they respond, and you're like, I don't think you heard a single fucking thing I'm saying. I don't think you even are listening to me at all, period. There's like not a single thought there's not a single thought in your mind. Nothing I said went into your brain, did it? And, yeah, those, I can't. There's a simple way to do that. I find that a lot of people are like that. It's like you try to have any kind of conversation with them, and it's like, it's like nothing's going on. And it's not that they're dumb or not anything, it's just like, it's just awkward. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like, well, I think this is true with anyone. It's like they only want to talk about again, this is what I'm saying. I'm going to say this, you're going to be like, yeah, true. People just want to say what they want to say, and they don't really give a fuck about what you have to say. And to me, that's just like, I can't do it. And I can feel it when it's happening. Because, like, I'll say something, and then you'll start talking, and it's like, it's not really what I was talking about. I literally asked you a question at the end of my thing, and you're not answering that question at all. Like, you're talking about some other random fucking shit. So, yeah, I just can't handle that. I just can't talk to you. So, like, that's, like, another barrier. Is if that red flag goes off, you're pretty much dead in my eyes. Like, I just can't. Like, conversationally dead, not literally dead. What was the third example? Oh, no, I am on hobbies. Oh, the other one was like, the other kind of example you get for hobbies is like the gym. I don't go to the gym to hit on people, so I don't, like, besides a very slow progression of getting to know somebody, the gym just doesn't, like work out to me. I don't see people enough there to talk to them. I do go to the gym relatively early-ish, although sometimes it's busy. I'll try to go to like 8 a.m. It's really busy then. I've been earlier. No, I haven't. I haven't been earlier yet. That's a lie. I've been in off hours. Usually I go in off hours, so maybe there's like a little bit of a problem there. Because fuck going when it's busy. But yeah, besides like a long drawn out, which I never like. At least to my knowledge, I've never been able to, like, see a person long enough for, like, the long, drawn-out, like, oh, we're slowly becoming friends thing to happen. So, like, I might see somebody, you know, we get to, like, the waving stage. They're like, oh, I'll help you with your weights stage. But, like, I never get to the we can do sets together stage. Does that make sense? Yeah, it just never happens. I don't know. Again, pretty unlucky. My gym schedule always gets randomly fucked because I'm like in school, out of school, doing rugby. My schedule, like, if you've paid any attention to my streaming, you know that my schedule is always fucking like randomly fucking changing radically, and it's a fucking. The only time I had a steady schedule was when I was working, because I would just go to work, come home, stream, and that was fucking mint. I did a lot of that was like peak. I can't wait to start doing that again. Because, yeah, that was, I got good growth. Yeah, even it's like not a viewer growth. I don't have many concurrent viewers that stick around. There's a lot of growth there. So I got to do that with what I gotta figure out what to do is, like, I gotta post more on YouTube, but I have no idea what to post on YouTube. So, like, something like this will go on YouTube. But, like, I don't know what to do with, like, I want to make, shorts as well. It's okay. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. Because I'm live stream brain, but no one's here. So I gotta keep it, like, in topic for YouTube. So anyways, the gist of it is that a lot of, I would really like to talk to Brittany or Destiny or both about some, like, relationship stuff, because sometimes they say things that, to me, feel unimaginably disconnected from my lived experience. And I think it's valid in the sense because, like, they're both talking about lived experiences. And, like, to me, it's, like, it's just, like, mind-blowingly different. And I'm not saying that they're saying this with, like, this is going to work. Obviously, every time they say stuff, they're like, this should hopefully work, this has worked for me, blah, blah, blah. They're not being super strict on it. But it's super interesting that, like, they say stuff. They're like, yeah, this is our, this is my lived experience. This is what's worked for me. And it's like, it's never worked for me. And I do, like, similar things. Or it gets me fucked. Like, if I do the speed dating thing, women think I'm being, like, weird or creepy or whatever. And it's like, oh, you're just trying to fuck. And it's like, no, I'm trying to get to know you. Like, I would rather know some stuff about you before we hang out at all, really, because I don't want to just sit in a room and do nothing, or, like, we go to the movies and, like, watch a movie, and then, like, it's like, okay, we just sat here and watched a movie, and then I don't know anything about you still. We just sat and did, like, I don't know what's going on here. So, like, of course I'm open to going, like, to dinner, and we can talk about stuff there, but, like, yeah, it just seems like if it's like it scares people to going too fast, which is fair, but they never describe it that way, or they don't describe it at all. And it's like, if I'm going too fast, fine. But then it's like, how the fuck did Destiny and Brittany have? Well, for Brittany it's easy. She's a woman, okay? Not to be like, not to red pill everyone, but to be fair, there is, like, women privilege to speed dating, because any dude, right? She'll agree with this. She could just, if she wanted sex, she could just talk to any dude and say yes. And speed dating is easy because a dude brain will go to, oh, this is leading to sex faster. Okay, I'm good. And then it gets, but Brittany likes it because it gets, like, she can cycle through people faster. And then same with Destiny. Destiny does it because he doesn't like talking to people. And I try to do it because I don't like talking to people either. So it's like, okay, I need to know, like, okay, what do you like to do in your free time? Do you, do you want kids? No? Great, cool. I don't want kids either. Do you, like, what are your standards for, like, dudes or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or, yes and no. There's a couple things. It's hard for me to answer this because it depends on, like, per person, but, like, basically what I'm trying to get out of somebody, what I want to know about them is, do you care, like, how much do you, how do I describe this? Fuck. Okay, I'll describe an example of a past relationship, and you can use it to infer what I mean. In a past relationship, it seemed like my past partner was super hung up that I wasn't actively working. It didn't matter how much money I had saved up. I had like $10K in the bank. I was at school. I had $10K in the bank because I had worked previously. Okay? None of that mattered because I wasn't actively working. For some reason, in her brain, she was like, "Well, how can I trust that you'll have a job and provide in the future if you're not working right now?" It's like, I'm in school. What do you mean? I'm literally actively working. I'm in school for fucking engineering too. Now, it's not CTE. I have to go get my CTE on my own. It's not a ring. It's not high-tech fucking engineering stuff. But I'm going to call myself an engineer, okay? I'm in school for engineering. I have worked previously. I have $10,000 in the bank. I'm just choosing not to work right now because I don't like working and going to school. And then in her brain, she's like, oh, well, how can I know? How can I trust that you're going to provide once you're done? Like, how can I know that you're going to get a job if you don't have a job right now? Like, I don't know. How much money do I, like, I'm good. I'm telling you that I will. I'm in school for it. Like, what do you think I'm in fucking school for? And then on top of all of that anyways, who cares? If I'm not, like, asking you for money, literally dead broke, right? I'm not broke. I'm fine. I have $10,000 in the bank. It's good. I'm good. I don't need to work right now. But for whatever reason, there was like a serious mind block of like, you're not actively working. That means you're not actively providing. And it's like, oh, okay. So like, I want to know if that's your mindset. Do I need to literally specifically be working, and that job needs to be a quote unquote providing job? Because at my stage in life, I'm 23. I might not look it. Okay, I might look older. The person I was dating by was like 19 or 20. I was 20. Fuck, how long ago was it? Like 21? 21 and 19, 2-year difference. And it's like, you think I have like a parent job? Like you think I am in my full career at 21 years old? No. And like their excuse was like, yeah, well, I'm in school, I'm working right now. It's like, that's great, you can work. I don't want to work right now. I have $10,000 in the bank. I don't need to work. I put that money in there so I don't have to work while I'm at school because I fucking hate it. And like, well, I'm working, so this is a roadblock. It's like, okay, if you can't see the difference, like if you can't separate your working and me working, like if you want to work, that's great. If I don't want to work, that should be fine too. As long as I'm not like an anchor on the relationship, that's the real red flag. But for whatever reason, the wall in her situation was, I'm not working. I'm gonna bring this closer just in case shit's going wrong. So I don't want to hold this actually, but we'll do it for a little bit. So it's like, okay, so that's like, if that's your red flag, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, because at least in my stage in life at 23, part of me only wants to work for like 6 months out of the year and then just take the year off. I also want to do streaming. That's a whole other hurdle that I don't even want to get into, because like explaining to people that I stream or whatever is, especially to nobody, right? It sounds like a total waste of time. And if I take any time away from them, relatively understandably, they get pissed. And it's like, okay, like, this is my quote passion. There's nothing to really show for it, of course. It's basically just a random hobby it's equivalent to just playing video games. And for whatever reason, most people that I meet, that's like a huge fucking red flag, is playing video games. It was like, again, that was another thing with my past relationship, where it seemed like, past relationship, a little bit of like past relationship, or anyone I meet, it seems like it's like a big red flag that I play video games. The amount that I play video games, to be fair. It's like, oh, you don't want to, like, if I say, oh, can I just stay home and play video games? I don't want to go see a movie. You're welcome to come over and hang out, but I just want to play video games. They take that as like an attack to them. Like, oh, you don't want to hang out with me. You value video games more than me. It's like, no, you can come over and we can hang out, and that's like, but I just want to play video games, that's all. I want to play this video game specifically, let's say, and like, we can't play together. It's like, you can come over and hang out, and to me that's just as fulfilling, but to them it's like now it's really starting to rain. Well, not really, well, kind of. Yeah, the storm's coming in. So I might have to go back inside because it's going to become annoying. So I'll try to wrap this up a little bit. So like, that's like a big roadblock. But, yeah, so like, it's like, okay, if that's like a roadblock, I can't like talk to you. Anyways, so it seems like, what was the other thing I was going to go over? Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of things that either I do or most women that I meet have as a standard that I'm just uncompatible with. And I don't understand how, like, people like Destiny that I think are relatively similar to me find people who are compatible with. Like for example, Destiny meets Melina. Now again, right, he has streamer privilege, but like Melina reached out to him. And he says it as well, the only reason why they're in a relationship is because Melina would message him. And I have like a single female friend that'll actively like message me first and be like, oh shit, like, I fucking, oh whoop, like, why haven't we talked in like this, like, what the fuck's going on? Like, we'll get like jokingly mad at me, like, there's like one female friend that I have that will message me first. And it's like, okay, like, and it's not like I've met nobody in my life. Like, I would say I've interacted with a fair amount of people. Yeah, so it's just strange. I think the other roadblock, and I think the other thing that Destiny, what blew me away a while is, so Destiny said this thing. So Destiny had a clip, Nebraska Steve clip, that Vosh was like reacting to and said something about, because Destiny had said something about relationship stuff, and Destiny had said that's like, oh, at this time I've only had like 2 girlfriends, period. And I was like, whoa. So like Destiny only started like really talking to women, really talking to, like, into his streaming, into his the main thing is into his career. And like at the age of 23, whatever that he was at the time during that clip, he was in a similar position to me. Now he had a kid and he was married, so it's a little bit different, monogamous relationship. But before that, in high school and stuff like that, I would say like I was relatively okay with women. I basically had one relationship in high school, but we did a fuck ton of fucking, and it was mostly like, I didn't have a big window to talk to women and have a bunch of women because I only had one relationship. A monogamous one of that, obviously. So it's like, oh, he's in pretty much the same boat as me. So what it got me thinking is that it seems like the actual barrier is that I'm not like 30 years old in my career on my own. It seems like the real barrier is that I still live at home because rent is expensive and I am at school. I'm 23. I don't need to live on my own, so why would I? I don't have a career job, even though I'm in school for one, and I'm like already working in the field. Like I'm about to graduate. I'll basically be my career job, but I'm not going to be working. At least I don't really plan on working in my career field, because like I said, I would maybe work 6 months out of the year, and then take 6 months off. So I wouldn't be in my career job. I wouldn't be in my career. I wouldn't have a substantial wage because I'd be in a starting wage. I wouldn't have a place to live on my own, at least at first. I don't know when I'm going to move out, if I do. But I would assume, like, if I'm being generous, 25, I might be living on my own. So it seems like to have any chance with a woman at all, I need to have a career, live on my own. The rain's really coming down. Live on my own, have a career, like, do all the red pill, like, Andrew Tate stuff. That, like, or, like, whatever Ben Shapiro says. It's like, and it's mind-blowing to me that it's like, okay, so when you actually talk to women and actually get, like, to know women, they'll say that they don't care about that stuff, but they do, which, again, isn't wrong to care about that stuff, but it's just interesting that even if people don't say they care about that stuff, even if, in a sense, they do, and in a sense, it works out that way anyways, right, where women will only really talk to men that are older than them, because it shows status. I'm going to only talk about the women's side because I don't know anything about the male side, so I don't know what women deal with specifically. I understand that men are dicks, especially on like Tinder and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. You know, I can't speak on the man issue. So I apologize for being red pilled right now, incel pilled. Especially probably looks that way, you know. I can feel somebody saying, "Oh, look at this fucking balding neckbeard talking." Yeah, I understand. I don't have a great hairline. I gotcha. Don't worry. One day I'll shave my head in, okay, and look normal, okay? I don't care. This is just my lived experience, whatever, to a 0 viewer audience. I don't care what you have to say. That sounds weird too, because it's like that stereotypical thing. I don't like the. Anyways, I'm going ADHD mode. Well, thankfully the rain came in and came out. So yeah, it's just interesting that people seem to have standards whether they say they don't or do, right? And those standards seem to be relatively consistent no matter what. Or women will do this weird thing where women aren't. The best way I can describe it is women don't want to date you until they want to date you, and it'll be like totally fucking randomly out of the blue, and it'll make zero fucking sense, and you might almost every time blow your brains out. The last time I had it happen to me, I was talking to this girl, hanging out with this girl, whatever, like, we were getting along, we watched, like, I'll go to her house, we'd watch stuff, we would hang out, it was going pretty good. I was up, like, this, like, it was pretty good, like, it was like, we had a general understanding of stuff, so I was able to explain my situation, whatever. I was like, oh, I don't know if I really want to date, I just kind of want to get to know somebody. You know, and I like sex, so if we have sex in the meantime, like, that's fine, but we're not, like, specifically in a relationship or whatever. And I was careful to make sure that she knows, like, I'm not saying we're in, like, a situationship or we're in a casual relationship. It's just, you know, I just want to take time to get to know you before we're, like, officially dating. And so we would talk, and then things got kind of like, I would say, to be fair to myself, like, not that I got overwhelmed, but I get into zones where I'm like, I just don't want to do this. Like, she would invite me over to watch like a movie or whatever and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't care. Like, I would just, and it would kind of project off. So things got kind of stale or whatever. And it wasn't bad. It was just like, I just don't want to watch movies all the time. So if she would invite me over to a thing, I felt obliged to say yes. And then I would go over, and it would kind of be like I would just not be in the best mood, admittedly. And it's hard for me to kind of explain that naturally, because like what I would say is like, okay, like what am I gonna message the person? Just, no, I want to play video games. And that comes off as like, oh, you don't, like I said before, that comes off as, oh, you don't want to hang out with me. Okay, I'm not gonna talk to you ever again. And it's hard for me to explain, like, okay, it's not that I don't want to, it's I want to play video games, blah 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 blah. Anyways, in general, everything was fine. But then things got like a little weird, and I was like, I don't know, like if I want to keep hanging out, because I feel like I'm, in another sense, I was like, I feel like I'm stringing you along because like I don't know how you're feeling, and we don't seem to want to talk about it, so we're not really talking about it. And I feel like I'm stringing you along, so I'll just kind of, I'll lay off a little bit and see if you message me more or whatever. And then she like wouldn't, and we would just kind of be in an awkward phase. And then boom, she invites me out to like a double date, a secret double date. She says, "Oh, do you want to go play pool at this pool house?" And I was like, "Sure." And then the moment I said sure, she sent me a message saying, "Oh, okay, my friend and her boyfriend are coming." And I was like, "Did I just get looped into a double date?" And then I kind of just bugged out. I was like, "This is really fucking weird. I don't know why you would, like, after inviting me, say that somebody else is coming." That felt weird to me. So I didn't blow her off. I said, I can't make it. I guess that is technically blowing her off. But to me, blowing somebody off is like you don't show up and don't say anything. Canceling a rain check is what I did. And then I explained later, I was like, oh yeah, I just felt weird. Like I felt like you were kind of looping me into a double date. And then she was in a relationship. And it's like, oh, okay. So yeah, like I said, women don't want to date you until they want to date you. So it was weird. It was like that moment was, okay, there's another guy I met, and he seems interested, so I'm going to try one last time with Matt, and if it doesn't work, I'm moving on. And that's like basically what happened. Now, it was like to be fair, it was like she asked me out for a date, I guess, on like this pool date, and then 2, 3, maybe a month later, 2, 3 weeks later, or a month later, she was in a relationship. It's like, okay, like that's kind of weird. But again, like I said, the only way I can describe it is a woman doesn't want to date you until she wants to date you. Exclamation point. However you can figure out how to describe that. So, you're welcome. So yeah, I don't know how the fuck I would get into contact with Brittany or Destiny or any of these people, or if I even want to, or if I even have time to, because school. But it would be interesting to have like a small conversation about this. I don't know if it would go anywhere. I think we would just agree on stuff. And the conversation, sorry, I'm acting like a cat right now. There's a piece of hair in my tongue. So I usually do this weird thing where I lick my hand to get I'll literally get the hair off my lip. Anyways, that's dumb. Again, ADHD moment. I don't even know if I have ADHD, but it seems like it sometimes. Whoa, drop the camera. So, I don't know how I would get into contact with them, if they would even want to have a conversation, because I have no viewers. I think it would be an interesting conversation, but I don't think it would really go anywhere, because I don't see us disagreeing on anything. It would probably just turn into a conversation of like, yep, that sucks. Like, seems unlucky, or like, yep, I think you just gotta keep on it. And it's like, yep, I know, I'm aware, but I'm gonna keep on it in my way, and my way is like a... So let's say Destiny's way is that he can interact with like 100 women a day, maybe, or 100 women a month, or whatever. My would be like one a month, or 2 a month, or whatever. Like, that's like my max interactions. So obviously mine's gonna take longer, right? And it's just like a numbers game, if you want to think about it that way. And it's like, yeah, we might have the same method, but like, so to bring it back to the numbers again, right? So like, if Destiny has 100 interactions with women a month, and we have the same method, and our method returns 1%. Sorry, this is going to be weird to talk about humans this way, but I have engineering brain, so I think about stats. I think about stuff in stats and stuff like that. So right, Destiny has 100, talks to 100 women a day. He gets a 1% return on those talks. So out of the 100 people that out of the 100 women he has an interaction with, he in his polyamorous relationship gets to fuck or hang out with or whatever one woman, gets into another, bears fruit relationship from one of the out of the 100. Using broad terms here, but that aren't meant to be kind of derogatory towards women, right? Okay. So he has a one. We're just gonna call it a 1% return. Okay. I use the same method. I also get a 1% return, but I'm only interacting with 5 women a month, max, if that, right? So obviously, my return is gonna take a lot longer, mathematically, and I feel like that would just be where the conversation goes. Because, like, if I were to describe myself, it would be, like, if I were to describe my standards, it would be, okay, I just want somebody that is okay with us doing different things, and we're going to ignore the honeymoon phase, because I have a weird honeymoon phase. Admittedly, my brain, I don't know, I haven't tested this well, but my brain kind of goes fritzy, as I think most people do, where they're kind of, I think Destiny missed this too and stuff like that, where it's like in the first like honeymoon phase of talking to people, it's like, oh, is this person still interested in me? Are they interested in me? Are they interested? Like you're fucking going schizo brain over somebody. So ignoring the quote honeymoon phase of a relationship / like honeymoon phase of talking to somebody, ignoring that, typically once I'm settled into a relationship, any relationship, friendship or not. So this happened with like my female friend. Once I'm settled in a relationship, it's like, okay, there are going to be times where I just don't message you because I don't like human interaction, no matter who you are. And the other half of that is that for most of my life, it's felt, oh, I'm at 15% battery suddenly. So we'll try to wrap this up. And for most of my life, I've been doing a lot of the lifting, in my opinion, of conversation. So I'll message people first. I'll have to make the plans. I'll have to do this, blah, blah, blah. So, I have to make plans with my friends. I'm the one who has to organize. I'm the one who has to message, like, women first or my friends first. So, like, in my life, it's been a lot of, like, burdensome conversations, I guess. Like, I'm taking the load. So there will be times, no matter what point of our relationship, where I'm just like, nope, I'm not dealing with it. I'm not doing the load working. I would rather sit down and play video games. But if you message me and want to set something up, I'll be happy to do it. Depending, I guess, on my mood. But yeah, like, so I might not message you first, and if you all you have to do is message me, like, hey, like, what's up, and we'll probably start a conversation. Instead of the reverse, where I'm doing the heavy lifting of having to message you first and talking to you and starting the conversation or planning something. If you just do it like there'll be moments like that where I'm just like, yeah. You might have been the last person to respond to me in a conversation or whatever, if we're text chatting or whatever. I don't care. Like, there'll just be moments where, like, I don't care. You can message me first. If you want to talk to me, I'm here. Boom. That's like the move. So that's like standard number 1. We have to be comfortable doing our own things. That's part of it. The other part of it is obviously like, hey, we don't have to do everything together. I'm more than happy. There's a lot of stuff that I will do that I wouldn't normally do in a relationship, of course. And I think that's another thing that my past relationship didn't understand, is that my partner didn't understand that it's like, I'm only doing this stuff because I'm with you, but that doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. She seemed to have gotten confused. Like, she's like, oh, I want to go on walks, or I want to go on blah, blah, stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, no, I want to do that stuff. Or it's not that I want to do that stuff. It's like, I'll gladly do that stuff with you. It's really fun when I do it with you. And she was like, well, I don't want to make you do stuff that you want to do. I'm like, it's not that I don't want to do them. It's just that I wouldn't normally do them, but I'm going to do them with you because it's enjoyable to do stuff with you. And she's like, well, no, I want you to do stuff that you want to do, not just stuff that you are doing because of me. It's like, okay, but if I'm enjoying it, it doesn't really matter, right? That's like kind of a point of a relationship, is you kind of have trade-offs of interests. But at the same time, like I'm saying, we should be comfortable doing other things. So if there's at any point, there probably will be a point after like the quote-unquote honeymoon phase. In that honeymoon phase, I'm happy to go on walks and do all this stuff, but there's going to be a stage where I'm like, okay, I'm tired of doing what you want to do all the fucking time, even if you do some stuff that I want to do, like, okay, I'm bored of going on walks now, or I'm bored of, like, I like going on walks most of the time, but it's like, if we're like, every single time we're hanging out, we're going to go on a walk, or we're going to watch a movie. It's like, okay, I'm tired of going on a walk and watching a movie. I just want to play video games. You can come over and we can sit down and hang out with me, and that's all. That's it. That's good. Okay. You can be in one room or in the same room. Fuck, you can be sitting on my lap as I'm playing video games. I don't care. I just want to play fucking video games. And you can come over and join that. Okay. And that's it. And or you can just go and do your own thing. Hey, if you want to go on a walk. Hey, if you want to go on a movie. Hey, if you want to go on a vacation, go do that. Go do that. Go on a vacation. You don't have to take me along. Okay. I don't. Oh, hey, I want to go to Mont Tremblant or whatever. Okay, go for it. Go. Have fun. I don't want to go this time. Or like we went last year. I had a good time. I don't really want to go this year. You go have fun. Right? We should be able to do that, at least in my opinion. I don't know how much stacks up. I don't have enough experience to know if that stacks up. I don't know if I'm being honest with myself. I can't tell you. Shit. 8%. Okay, so more standards, and I gotta wrap up. Yeah, so being able to do your own shit, understanding that, like, I don't want to take the load all the time, so you have to be willing to talk to me. If you're not willing to fucking, like, initiate anything, it's not going anywhere. Yeah, if I'm constantly initiating stuff, it's a big red flag. If we can't do separate things, it's fine. If you don't understand, like, the work thing I kind of went over as well, right? Like, to an extent, your status matters, but if I'm like, fuck, like, I don't want to work right now, I've got X amount of money saved up, I'm just gonna not work for the year, that should be, as long as I'm providing, that should be fine, if that makes sense, in whatever situation we have set up. As long as I'm still providing the same amount, if I'm working or not working shouldn't matter. It's a weird standard to set. It's like kind of a half standard because it's only happened like once or twice, but like the quote having a job isn't the standard. It's being able to provide for myself, or like being able to provide for the relationship. Obviously, if I'm an anchor to the relationship, you have every right to dump me. But if I'm not an anchor and you're just mad that I'm not working, that's weird. So what else? So can do stuff on her own, work thing. Can be the initiator on stuff. 5% rip. Fuck, I don't think there's anything else. Well, there is, I just can't think of anything. I'm running out of battery. So I'm thinking too hard. Yeah, that's kind of the gist of it, and it just seems like that's like a needle in a haystack for me. And, or people say they want that, but they don't actually want that. Or they don't know they want that, or they don't understand what that means, or they don't understand who I am, or whatever. So yeah, that's kind of an answer to my own question, just getting stuff. I'm happy to talk about this more if anyone wants to talk about this. And because this is kind of leaving on a unfulfilled thing, because I'm running out of battery. So thanks for tuning into the stream. I appreciate that. I'm going to go downstairs and continue streaming probably, but this is going to go up on YouTube. I'm going to unlock this, sorry. And then, yeah, so thanks for tuning in if you did. I'm not, doesn't really seem like it, but it's fine. Thanks for watching if you're watching. If you want to talk about this, I think I go to my Twitch, which should be linked in the YouTube video, and then my Discord is in there, or leave a comment or whatever, and I'll get in touch with you, okay? So, thanks. I appreciate you. I love you. And, yeah. Give a like, subscribe, hit the bell, and, if you're watching this, I'll start streaming in like 2 seconds on my computer. Bye, I love you. Oh, there's a double button.